And we're back, just like that. We're back, and we're moving into our second segment for the day. And like we said, we promised a fun Friday. We've got two fun guys in. We're getting ready and set to
call us fun guys.
Yeah, you guys are fun guys. You guys are fun guys.
So you better be fun.
The CEO of Impact Junkie is in with us. He'll be a panelist of the Belize Investment Summit. That's none other than Philip Harding. He's the founder and CEO of Impact Junkie, and he actually brought his sidekick with him.
That's
wow.
right.
And this guy is actually Stephen Jury.
Correct.
He's actually the co-founder as well.
The
so guys, good morning and welcome.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
How do you say good morning and welcome in fun language? Because that's what you guys are.
Yeah, boy, I said the food me nice. We went to Solis yesterday and had all the authentic Belizean food, and
oh my God,
put her foot in it.
Yeah.
That's it. It was, oh man, the food me nice.
I want to know.
Too nice, too nice.
I want to know how you're going to explain that to people when you go home and say, put your foot, put your foot in it.
Yeah, I got it messed up a couple times. I said, you made it with your foot. And they said, no, that's not it. That's totally different. We don't make the food with our feet. So
we jumped into it.
And it was
awesome.
And it's so good to be back in Belize.
It's
been a year and a half, and it's so great to see opportunity, to be part of the investment summit that's coming up, and to see the opportunity coming out of this little weird spot.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, let's just jump into it. This is not your first time in Belize. We've had you here before, and we were talking all about this idea that you are planting a seed across the world about, which is that we can be entrepreneurs and make a social impact. And it's almost that these things have been divorced for so long that the idea of marrying them again, it can kind of get people confused.
Well, in fact, we say let's go back to the core of what entrepreneurship is all about, is about understanding the needs of those we're trying to serve and bring solutions to those problems.
Indeed.
And it's also connecting your personal passion. When you realize this is who I'm here to help on the planet, this is what problem I'm meant to solve, you're never the same. And you get up every day, when you hit those hard days and when a pandemic hits or whatever happens, you're still gonna find a way because you realize this is what I'm here on the planet to do and this is what I'm here to solve. And so you don't give up, you don't quit when it's easy to do that, you keep going on. And and to also find sustainable ways to bring solutions. And that's a big part of what we want to do here in Belize, and we have been doing in Belize, and we're excited to see more, is coming out of this year and a half to find new opportunities. It's forcing us all to be innovative. Innovation is not just something new and like this cool new app and this new website. It's about understanding needs and being responsive to these needs and the people you're trying to serve to bring the solutions. So
absolutely.
And everybody has their own unique skills, talents, abilities to put into these problems. So that's what we try to help people unlock that.
Well, this time we brought your sidekick,
the
Steven.
man.
That's right.
The man. The gold standard is what we call
him. The gold standard.
And
I want to jump into just the things that you have done, because you have been able to really exemplify how you can be able to have a business model that actually makes an impact in people's lives.
So my wife and I, before we turned 28, we were elected the head of a children's home in the United States. We had both worked at children's homes, but we ended up at 28. I had 67 kids I was legally the parent of.
Wow.
And over the next 23 years, because I'd worked there 3 years before, a total of 26, we raised almost 1,000 children.
Wow.
I started like a thrift store and made $250,000 a year to help raise the kids, plus I did fundraising. We started a Christian school, or a school that from K to 12, and that's been 35 years ago. It's still going great today. 200 students or more every year. And then my wife and I established an unwed mother's home to help girls in crisis pregnancies. And then we started an adoption agency, and we've adopted over 1,500 children into forever families. We were burnt out after 26 years doing all of that, and so we pastored again for a while. And then I went to St. Louis, and I've since started a foundation, an insurance company, and a loan fund to be able to help people who need loans for churches or whatever. And it has gone from zero the last 10 years to right at $100 million. And the projection with our pathway is it'll be $250 million in another 10 years. So helping multiple families there. And I saw him on Facebook. His history is that he went to Harvard, and he ended up running for student-wide body president and was president of the entire Harvard student body of all 13 colleges. And he became the speaker for the graduation with 35,000 people in Harvard Yard. And you can watch it on YouTube, Philip Harding, Harvard, 9 minutes. It is impactful. And because I'm 73 and he's young.
Are you sure?
Yes. I decided that I needed him to help me understand the millennial and the Z generation, right?
Yeah.
Because I've done a lot of innovation, but at a certain age, you've got to partner with somebody who is in the age group that you need to reach and help, right?
To understand.
And so I decided that I called him and I took him to some of the meetings. We would have from the governor to former presidents of the United States, their sons speak at our banquet annually. And so I took him there, and he saw all these people from the senators to the representatives.
At the time, I was in the U.S. federal government.
Yes.
Working at the White House, the Pentagon.
So he says, well, I want to partner with you. And I said, I need to partner with you. And so from that, he said one day, what do you think of the name Impact Junkie? And I said, oh, I love it because it makes sense for the younger generation, because you're making an impact, and then Junkie, of course, you're hooked on it. You don't want to do anything different. And my whole life has been about that, is changing lives of others by innovative things that somebody else has not done.
So tonight, Impact Junkie, we're skipping over a lot. We've been working in Belize for several years, but tonight we're doing our Impact Junkie Fest, which is our monthly meetup of Impact Junkie members all around the world.
Sweet.
And we're broadcasting it live from Belize City tonight.
Oh, then you have to teach us that thing.
When
you say Belize,
you do the X, the Impact Junkie X, and the snaps. And so, and if you really want to go, you do the flying X.
That'll take some.
So yeah, we're going to do that tonight.
We'll wake up a bit more.
Yeah, go to impactjunkie.co. You can join us live. We're going to be streaming it live, and we've got some businesses we're meeting with today across Belize City. And we're excited to be here. And I will say it's been quite a journey. If I can just share one story, my first time to Belize was on a cruise ship, me and my wife. I'm going to give the short version. But we came in and we didn't know Belize. This was over a decade ago. And we were in the little fenced off area for tourists. And we said, we really want to go experience real Belize, you know? And there was a interesting door, and it says enter your own risk. And we're like, what is going on here? And there's guys over on the other side going, come in, come in. And so we said,
it's like straight out of
we're like, we want to go. So we go in, and it was beautiful. It was amazing, and it was so awesome. And I just think so often how close we came to not experiencing real Belize, and to fast forward to all these memories we have, the friends we have now in the country, the people we're working with, and to be part of this investment summit this week, and to be broadcasting live from Belize, to showcase Belize. We want to inspire and encourage everyone in Belize that there's hope. We're seeing a lot of innovation, and to look for that opportunity right now. We want to inspire and encourage you to say, don't give up, don't quit. There's a lot of people that are innovating and coming up with new ideas. And then we also we have other investors that we're bringing in to be part of the summit and streaming virtually to show opportunity that exists here. And so we're excited.
So let me get something in.
Yeah, we got the snaps going. I like it. Yes.
I've listened to both of you very keenly. And one of the things that come out to me is that there was a reason for you guys to be the way that you are. Stephen, you've raised so many children, and now you're helping a lot of families.
Correct.
And of course, Phil, you actually channel your energy, became the president of such a prestigious university. What was your driving force? And I'm asking this because there are people right now who might have a driving force, but they don't know how to channel that out to become what Phil is or what Stephen is. What was your driving force behind you?
I can tell you mine.
Go ahead.
Mine was that my father left us when I was a teenager, and I saw the struggle financially that my family went through.
Yeah.
And regretfully, to be honest with you, I was molested as a child. And so what happened to me was you can always choose to be bitter or you can be better. And so I decided I was going to be better. I was going to be a better husband. I was going to be a better father.
Yeah.
I was going to be a better leader of my home. And I was going to help others who survived being molested and all the things that happen. Yeah. And abuse happens in not just molestation. It can happen in verbal, neglect, physical, whatever, you see. So I think, not even realizing it, I ended up at this children's home leading these kids, but I understood them.
Yeah.
But out of that, I had to do something to better educate them. I had to do something better to clothe them and feed them.
Yeah.
And that forced me to become an entrepreneur. Well, then, as I gotten older, I said, wow, I like doing this because I see lives change when you have the finance and you change the culture around you, right?
Yeah.
And so that became my driving force of what I do today. And as I got older, I realized I don't want to just do it for here. I want to do it internationally. How can we help others?
Yeah.
And that's where this guy comes in, because I figure anybody that could run for student-wide body president at Harvard and be commencement speaker, he could relate to this generation because of his type of education and his passion.
Yeah.
So sometimes I tell him I'm just along for the ride. But, you know, the truth really is, John, that I think that age brings experience with it to say, here's another path you ought to consider along the way. That when you're younger, you may not consider all those paths. So I'm kind of like that, well, let's think about this every now and then. And he's ready to go. And I'm saying, well, that's good, but let's think about this. So I think our age difference and our years of experience and our passion together is a secret sauce, if you please.
Okay.
Which, by the way, I had
like
some
the hot sauce you had yesterday.
I had some hot sauce yesterday. I wish somebody told me not to take a whole spoonful at once.
That was about 5 seconds, and we both went, "Aye!"
I was, I can't talk. But it was
Takes
delicious.
your breath away.
It did.
And I would just add on to that, and just say,
here we were.
There
oh wow, look at this! Yes.
Yeah, everybody knows that place.
You had a combo.
Oh, wow, you got
the food was
everything.
nice, boy. She did put her foot in it. It was good.
Your driving force.
Yeah, my driving. So we have a training. We actually are doing programming with Founders Hub here in Belize City, which is a co-working space for entrepreneurs. And we have a whole training program online on the impactjunkie.co, and that we've done here in Belize from Punta Gorda all the way up into Belize City. And part of what we say is there's three, you see a lot of things in the world, and you probably have frustration or you have a personal experience like you have shared. We all do. And there's three ways you can respond. One is you can just block it out and just go on with your comfortable life. Two is you can spiral into deep depression, which is, we hope that doesn't happen, but that is an option. Or three, you can do something about it. And so the question is, what are you going to do with what you've been given? And so thinking about all these experiences, this is what we help everyone do. We've gone through this. I remember working in government, feeling like I had the golden handcuffs, the salary, the benefits. I was on this career path, feeling like this is where I'm going to go. I'm going to be this head of this, in the government, be this department. But I felt this passion to do more, and I wanted to do more. And I felt called to entrepreneurship and having more impact around the world. And so that's where he talks about, we saw each other and said, I want to do what you're doing. It's like, well, I want you to come. And so it was this natural, I want to do that. And so how do you actually turn that? So that's what we are now helping others do. And I'll also say my faith is a big driver of what I do. While we don't push our faith on anyone but directly, but it's just showing that love. And in fact, our framework is love people, go places, change lives. That's the core of the course. And I do believe at the end of this all, we're going to be held accountable with what we did in the limited days that we have on this planet. We just have a flicker, and then we're going to have eternity to think about it. And so that is a big driving force. And then ultimately seeing the impact. He said the junkie part. When you see the lives be changed and you see other people living out their purpose.
You want to continue doing that.
Yeah,
it's
that's
like,
the kind of stuff you want to be addicted to.
Absolutely.
I've genuinely sat and thought, is there anything else I'd rather be doing with my day, with my time, right? And I can't think of anything else, because I really believe when you look back over your life and the things that have brought you here today, like sitting in this chair, being with you today is exactly where I'm supposed to be.
Nice. And what makes you convinced that the Belize Investment Summit is where you need to be?
Well,
do you think this is a gathering of people who want to make an impact?
Well, I think maybe that's part of why they've asked us to come be a part of it, because they do see the importance of impact. And I think we've heard a lot about it today, the announcements, and there's a lot there in how we be good stewards of the planet and how we be good stewards with everything we've been given, and how do we change lives in a positive way. And now coming out of these last year and a half, 2 years, now more than ever, we need to be focused on how do we really be thoughtful about the people that are involved, not just pure dollars, but how can we make a profit, which is good. If you do it right, how can you make a profit and also improve lives at the same time? Being thoughtful. And so I believe with this investment summit, that's been a priority. We had a panel session. I'm speaking on the 10th with folks from the Central Bank and Atlantic Bank and Beltrade, and there's already just in planning and talking about this summit, there's a big interest in impact and how do we inspire inside Belize and change lives here, and also attract more to show the opportunity that exists in Belize. So
we're in that really interesting spot. We have a lot of needs. You know, we're talking almost 60% poverty, and we also are just such a beautiful country with so much to offer.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And it can be at times where we forget that there's social issues. No, I don't think we forget. I think that sometimes we don't focus on being able to use one solution to help with the other problem that we have.
I love how you said that.
And that's the livelihoods of people in this country.
I love how you said that, and being thoughtful. And we've worked from, like I said, this band is actually from entrepreneurs we've worked with
right here in
Punta
Belize.
Gorda, in the villages, the Mayans down. We have great friends down there. They've actually come up and been part of an entrepreneur fest that we held with the Beltrade and the U.S. Embassy here in Belize City. That's an amazing story that would take a while to, and it's still unfolding.
And some of your entrepreneurs are doing really well.
Are doing very well. And there's some we haven't met yet. Hello. But we want to meet as many as we can. And we've seen also large industrial investment type deals, and we've seen tourism deals. And I'm excited to see coming out of this, whatever this thing is you want to call it, this reshuffling, seeing more ideas besides opening our minds up to diversify beyond just tourism, which is a big part, and it will always be a big part. But like you said, seeing other ways to connect the opportunities that exist here in the country and open that up and really build out some industry here and attract more investment and stir up more investment that exists inside the country.
Indeed. Well, you know, it's such a warm feeling, especially to hear you guys come on down here, knowing that you're here to spread that good message.
Thank you.
And trying to for us to become junkies to change lives.
I believe that's right.
That the buying process is what we look forward to. So again, as a young person looking at this, looking at this show at this particular point, what would you say to me to help me today to change a life?
Well, I would make sure you're living out your purpose. So our framework starts with you and understanding the chapters of your life, or the dots that have led you to be where you are. That's who you're meant to serve. Like if you look back at those and connect those dots and say, oh, these are the people, the lives that I'm meant to change, that I'm meant to serve. And these are the problems I'm meant to address. So we start by looking back before we go forward. A lot of times people have the heart and want to change a life, and they'll put what we call a Band-Aid solution, right? Like a temporary fix. You've seen a lot of these, right? And it's like, at the very best, it may not be helping. And at the very worst, you may actually be contributing to the problem. You may actually be part of it, creating dependency or hurting, in other ways, rather than empowering those that you're meant to serve. So we always are trying to push ourselves to figure out, are we really helping them, or is it just trying to make us feel good? And so that's a challenge we all go through as junkies, is are we living out our purpose, but are we really changing those lives?
And you have to figure out what is the story of your life. before you can figure out sometimes what you need to do. And so I just briefly told you the story of my life.
Yeah.
But the story of my life became the driving force to change the lives of others. So sometimes when you really look at your story life, the story of your life, you find out who you really are and what you are meant to change, or how you're meant to make a difference in your area where you live.
And when you look at it and you own it.
Correct.
Yeah. And that's what we say, you connect that passion, purpose, and calling. Then you typically will make this it's sort of uncomfortable at first. This like step out onto the thin ice, and it's like a step of faith, and like this is scary.
It's that vulnerability,
And we could go through so many of those stories over and over and over. But you're driven by something. This is what I'm meant to solve. This is who I'm meant to serve on this planet, and so that's the driving force. And then we talk about these God nods, these little moments that are just sort of like you're doing the right thing. It's not still going to be all clear, but just take that next step. And then you see it work a little bit more, and then you can add more features, you can add more people, you can bring in more partners, you can get more investment, all these things, and keep scaling it up as you go.
What's the level of interest in this type of innovation? I mean, innovation can be scary, especially when you're coming up with something new. It means one, people probably think you're crazy because you're the first. We always make the joke, imagine what people thought when they invented the light bulb. You're gonna what? Put light? Or fly a plane?
Come out of a little.
But what's the level of how do you move from just having this perhaps unique idea or model that you think is really going to make an impact on the lives of people that you want to serve, but then sell it to other people?
Yeah, well, so you hit on a really great point there. And we are working with everyone from international organizations, coaching executives at large organizations, to working in villages. And we actually spent some night down in the jungles here with machetes and roasting marshmallows with some of our friends.
And mosquitoes.
And a lot of mosquito friends. And we talk a lot. Innovation, there's a huge demand, but I think there is sometimes confusion around what innovation is. And I think that's really key, is not falling in love with your solution, but falling in love with the problem you're trying to address. And that's like, even the light bulb, like you mentioned, that wasn't the thing. The problem, it was a problem of light. Like, how do we get light? And we talk a lot about this, if transportation is an issue, you can start with a skateboard. It may not be a full vehicle, it may not be an airplane, it may not be a starship that flies to Mars, but it's solving the problem. And so innovation, at the heart of it, is are we using our knowledge and expertise to bring solutions to people and let that drive us. And so sometimes it's a flipping inside organizations and governments and individuals to say, that's why we start with what problem are you trying to solve, not what solution are you trying to bring. It's a nuance, but it's really key because
it's your focus.
That idea may not work out. And then you're like, oh, well, I knew I couldn't do it.
Oh, I've had lots of things that didn't work out, but you keep on iterating until you find the key to that.
Nobody wants to hear the failure stories, right?
But
that's it. What's the secret to your success?
If you're going to be an entrepreneur, though, you've got to be prepared for the downtime.
Of course. And is there really failure? We talk a lot about that.
I don't think so.
Is failure even a thing?
See that?
I don't think there is failure. It's always learning.
It's learning.
And
if you're the first attempt in learning.
That's right. It's a continual process, and you build up sort of an immunity, if you will, to that. And you're like, actually, it's okay because I'm learning and I'm being driven by, is this better helping the people, like changing the lives, like you said? Is this better helping change the lives? And when you see it from that perspective, it changes everything. And especially government leaders and large organizational leaders who feel like, I have to have all the answers. I have to come in with this light bulb prototype to show everyone. And rather than coming in and saying, we just need to ask the right questions.
How are we going to get the light?
And thinking about the problem more than the solution. And the solution will come, you'll be able to test things, but you're collaboratively designing it with the people you serve. So we have these weekly demo days, we call them demonstration days. And we get together with impact junkies all around the world, and everybody's going through this. Well, here's what I tried this week, and it didn't work so well. Or here's what I did do, and it's working. And we get feedback, and you have people in Australia and Ghana and Nigeria and Belize and Honduras and US and Canada all at the same time saying, like, I can help you, or I got someone that you should connect with, or just say, keep going. Sometimes it's just a tough week.
Try again
and you need
tomorrow.
People, you need a community to say, keep going.
When you look at the line upwards to success, what a lot of folks don't see is the down where
the trough of sorrow.
Yeah, times of sorrow and heartache. And, oh man, I want to throw away all this idea. Doesn't work, and you've got to get a hold of yourself and say, well, I still have a dream. Let me refigure how to go up again.
What's the saying? It takes years to be an overnight success.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Wow. Look how amazing! All of a sudden, it's like that was overnight. How amazing! Yeah, that's been years.
No, you just noticed
of
over
sorrow,
one night.
and trudging along. But that's why it's so important to start with what are you meant to solve? Because to plow through those difficult days, you need to wake up and say, you know what? This is what I'm meant to do. You're going to be inspired and motivated to keep going.
You know, and from the moment you said that, it triggered in me. I think I've seen it in an article about parenting, where the most important question that you need to start asking your child is not what they want to be. It's what do they want to contribute to this world?
Correct.
Or what problem do they want to solve? And I think just making that mental shift, it can really create a brand new generation of people who aren't looking.
It comes out of them then.
Yeah.
And that's, you're absolutely right.
And aware that there are problems other than the ones that we personally see.
Indeed.
Well, I'll let the man who's been parent over 1,000 kids talk, but we've seen this exactly what you're saying, speaking at schools and working with youth as well. Such an important thing we're seeing, and you got to start out early and have that mindset. And it is. I always encourage people, it's easier earlier in life to try some of these things and step out, because it doesn't get much easier as life and family just seems like life gets more complex. You can still do it. And I've done it and you've done it. But there are more things to consider. So we encourage young people to really take that step.
I also started another group called Life Springs. It's out of the innermost being flows creative ideas. And in the U.S., we've helped start like 17 corporations and whatever. And this is the same thing, but this is more international.
Okay. All right. Wow. So we know the time is dwindling just like that. It's just gone. How can we, because we've been motivated. It's a fun Friday. We've been motivated. Where can we find more about Impact Junkie to become an Impact Junkie?
Go to impactjunkie.com, impactjunkie.com, or .co, either one. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Go to philipharding.com as well. There's videos on there. You could start right now. There's workshops you can go through that I'll take you through to help find your purpose. There's one called Finding Your Why. It's a 90-minute session with guides. That's going to be really set you on that path that you're talking about.
And you got that live stream happening tonight?
Live stream tonight.
From
go
Belize?
to impactjunkie.co. Yes, we'll be broadcasting some of it on Facebook, and then we have a members only portion but we're going to be featuring entrepreneurs from across Belize. So yeah, we'd love to have everyone join us.
All right. Well, guys, I'll tell you what, it's so nice to have you join us. You guys enjoyed.
I think you're doing YMCA.
That's a good transition to the dance coming up. Yeah.
You guys enjoyed great food, and we wanted to put you guys on the test to actually become real, true Belizeans.
Yeah.
You're already true Belizeans, but true. And we would have wanted you guys to dance the punta.
Oh, the punta. Okay. But, maybe we'll do that later.
Yeah, we don't
join the live stream. Oh boy, we're out of time.
We're about to take a break though. When we come back, we will be visited by Hezron Ellis. He is a Belizean dancer who advanced to the second round of NBC's World of Dance competition. We're going to meet the guy and we're going to see his skills when we come back. Stay with us.